Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Night Live BSC News podcast with Crypto Fight Club. Sorry if there was a bit of weird lag or something there. On my screen, it looked like it was lagging, and I didn't know if we were there. So I don't know if I was talking to a blank screen or you could hear me or I spoke twice. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Very excited today to have Crypto Fight Club with us and Ashton with A Smile to Die For. From Crypto Fight Club. Welcome, Ashton. Would you be able to introduce yourself a little bit? Oh, hold on, Ashton. I can't actually I can't hear you.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, perfect. Great. Hi.
Sorry, I turned off my sound interface. I was yelling at my dog. Yeah, so Ashton here, Crypto Fight Club. I started in crypto in 2015. Started out with Bitcoin ATMs. Moved over to full stack marketing for a couple years. Then I started with offshore banking, and then moved over towards marketing and project management. And then I started with Crypto Fight Club, October of 2021. It's really hard to manage the years when you've been working in crypto this long, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've been in it as long as you have. I think I've been in since around 2017, 2018 or so. But again, I couldn't put a year on it. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about your role within Crypto Fight Club and also maybe the team behind it as well?
Yeah, so my partner Felix Moore and I, we started Crypto Fight Club October 17th, 2021. And it was funny, the weekend that we announced it, it was during Dubai Blockchain Week. And they had the Shitcoiner boxing event with like Zach XBT, Rookie XBT, and a couple other guys. And they were hosting this, regulated boxing event that was primarily for charity, and they raised a bunch of money for it, and it was all for entertainment purposes. And at the moment that we launched this, I thought to myself, oh, hey, this was a perfect opportunity for us to learn more about, crypto, but also to represent our company as well. But Crypto Fight Club, we enter the world of DeFi and then also play and earn. What most people like to combine them both is GameFi, right? But with the NFTs that we have released, they compile as NFT blockchain certificates of deposit, which ultimately earn interest based on the inflation of the token Fight. And people can stake inside of their NFT in-game characters through Fight tokens and LP tokens, and they can also play a multitude of different mini games with them. So the idea was to build out this metaverse arcade where people can play a series of different mini games, earn tokens, and also, stake tokens inside of their NFTs, and be able to maintain the ownership of their assets via the NFT, of course, and the assets that they have staked. There's, within a lot of the recent exploits and scams that have happened in the last 2-3 years, more than what we've ever seen over the last 5, 6, 7 years. We decided to take the approach to empower ownership, right? And what we wanted to do when we designed the smart contract was, when people hold their NFT in their MetaMask wallet, we want to empower ownership through obviously holding the NFT there. But then when they stake, there is no middleman or counterparty risk. And whenever they hold this counterparty risk, people tend to alleviate the risk that is there. And what we want to do is eliminate that aspect of everything. And when they stake tokens inside of their MetaMask wallet, inside of their Fight, they hold everything that is there, and interest it's given from the inflation. So what most people don't understand is the inflation is accrued from. I'm sorry, the interest is accrued from inflation. So whenever people like store funds in a bank account, or in a savings account, they earn 0.05, 0.001% APY based on whatever they're holding in their bank account. This is all accrued from inflation. The bank will, from whatever country that you're from, they will go to their national treasury and they'll 10x their loan based on whatever they're holding under their assets under management, and then they'll pay that out via the interest rates. So what we decided to do, because we're working with Magic Internet Money with cryptocurrency and everything, we decided to create a fixed inflation method to where people who are locking their tokens up, they're able to earn interest based on the inflation rate, and whether that's through the native token staking or through the LP staking, and they're able to earn APYs in multiple different ways. And then with this, this NFT that they have, they're able to play different games. And with these different games, they're able to earn tokens. And now, as of beginning mid-April, everybody is able to lend out their NFTs and be able to earn on the behalf of other people playing with it. So
fantastic.
What we've built out is like a metaverse arcade, right? So people are able to play a multitude of different games. They're able to lend out their NFTs in case they don't find the attractiveness of playing these different games, and they're able to work on different ways of earning passive income. Like Axie Infinity is able to lend out their scholarship system, or Peg Axie, for example. Everything is done on chain, and people are able to lend out their NFT fighters on chain to where who you're lending it out to, and then you're able to adjust the accessibility of the NFT itself.
Yeah, definitely. And I think gaming guilds are big on that. So buying lots of NFTs and essentially leasing them out to scholars, they call them. It's like a manager scholarship relationship, and then doing a sort of profit share. And so with that in mind, this is a sort of example account that I've got. I got this little NFT guy last night, and I've played quite a lot of the Chicken Run, which is really good.
Nice.
So how would I go about perhaps lending this to someone? Obviously, there's just one here at the moment, but if I did want to, I was going on holiday for a couple of weeks, and someone else could play it, how would I perhaps go around that?
So you could go onto the lending tab inside the navigation bar that you see here. And right now we offer peer-to-peer lending. So
amazing.
This is most familiar with like guilds, right? This is who we wanted to benefit most, was the people who actually have a multitude of these NFTs, and they're able to give out these NFTs via specific borrower addresses. So Tom, let's say that I was somebody that wanted to play for you in a series of games. Then you would lend me your NFT in particular via my MetaMask wallet. And whenever you lend that to me, I would have that MetaMask wallet with limited rights. So whenever you lend out that NFT to me, I would be able to play out Chicken Run, Fight the Bear, or any of the other game modes that we will soon have available. And I'll be able to earn for you, ultimately. Earn for both of us, really.
Of course.
So
that is good. And if I say had 20 NFTs and I sort of wanted to get a little gaming guild going, obviously I could send them to people here and let them borrow them. And it's good that you've got you can put the sharing amount there, so there's no sort of arguments or people can't run off with a scholar's share of the money or anything. Is there like a scholar management dashboard or anything, so you can see who's been performing the best, and that sort of thing? And is it easy to take back the NFT once you've lent it to a person?
So whenever you lend out an NFT, there's a little table that comes out from underneath, which if you only have one, I'm sure you can't see.
Yeah.
No worries. Whenever you lend out an NFT, you'll be able to see who you've lent it out to, what the reward split is, and you'll be able to see who has earned what. And right now it's peer-to-peer, and later on we want to introduce something like a marketplace feature to where if you had 20 NFTs, you're able to lend them out based on whatever terms that you provide. Let's say that if you lend them out outside of peer-to-peer and it's, you want a 50-50 split of everybody that lends them out, even if you don't know who they are, you'll be able to find out who they are. So under the staking dashboard, we designed it very similarly. Whenever you make a stake, and I've got cats. So whenever you make a stake or whenever you make a lend, underneath there's a history. So inside the history, you'll be able to see, who you've lent to and how many, for example, the chicken run game, how many chickens they've caught. And then how does that result to how many fight that you are going to earn over the next period of 7 days when the rewards are split. And this goes with multiple different NFTs that you've lent out. So whenever the smart contract recognizes, hey, you've lent this out to 10 fighters and each have caught, X amount of chickens, this is then distributed amongst the amount of how many other people have caught chickens from the actual pool itself.
No, that sounds very good because there's, Axie Infinity was arguably the first sort of GameFi project that initiated scholarships, and they could perhaps argue that they're the founder of gaming scholarships. But one thing that they still haven't got is an automated sort of split of SLP, the reward token, between the manager and the scholar, and sort of having that management interface and an easy way to lend out your NFTs is vital, I think.
There's this human heavy layer, man. So with Axie, if Tom, if you lend me some Axies, then you're going to give me a username and password to log into my database, and then all the rewards are typically connected to my wallet. In this case, we eliminated that human heavy layer where everything is done on chain, and it eliminates the issues in which, there was that massive, $650 million hack, where somebody could just hack into a majority of the nodes that were running on Axie and be able to siphon majority of the funds. In this case, everything is done on chain, so we completely avoid the aspect of running into a similar exploit like Axie did, and it eliminates the human heavy layer. Like, if you and I, we obviously don't know each other on Discord, if you provide me your wallet address and you promise me that you're going to play, then hey, give me your wallet address and we'll run like a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split, and you're able to play for as long as you're earning for both of us. And then at the end of the day, if you're not earning, then I can claim my NFT back. And if you are earning, then constantly keep playing.
Great. Yeah. So I think that the two main things that guilds look for are one automated system that splits rewards, so you don't have to send them manually, but also just ease of use, like you've been saying. Just put in their wallet address, lender borrower, bam, and then the management interface, where if I lent out my one little NFT, I'll be able to see sort of how that person's doing. And I'm going to get onto to the gameplay in just a second of the chicken run. But can you talk us through the inspiration for sort of I want to say 8-bit, but to an extent it's like 8-bit but 3D. The sort of Lego style of the characters, and why you decided to go with that. I think it's really cool, by the way, that they look like they come in a little box. But could you talk us through why you've decided to go with this sort of, to an extent, retro style?
Yeah, so I was a big fan of Roblox.
Nice.
Yeah, and Roblox have been making waves for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. But the idea of Roblox is they have just a massive in-game lobby. And all Roblox is a massive in-game lobby with a series of different games involved. And with your Roblox character, you can customize each and every different person that you want. And then to further customize it, we decided to kind of go like the Minecraft route. So you have Roblox and Minecraft, and given these 3D objects, they're designed very specifically towards different fighters or different aspects throughout the entire world of fighting. And the main purpose was to build out this ecosystem to where, hey, you have this this in-game lobby to where you can play a series of different games, but you've also got an interactive element to where you have these 3D objects that can go around and play these games. Right now, when I was a kid, they had a Play 123 games or Play Games 123, and it was a user dashboard where you could play a multitude of different games, but it was with the same exact in-game character. And with this, I was like, okay, well, we could build out NPCs and different in-game characters that replicate the Roblox character style, to where we're matching trends, we're matching what a lot of people are looking forward to nowadays, and kind of come up with our own game styles. Chicken Run, for example, our first game, there's nothing else really like it. Chicken Run it's inspired by what Muay Thai fighters do in Southeast Asia. So in Southeast Asia, what Muay Thai fighters do to train, at least their cardio, what they're going to do at the end of the day is go specifically in this little area called Isan, is they're going to go around in this area, like an enclosed area, and chase chickens. And whenever they chase chickens, there's 5 people and 100 chickens inside this area. They're going to run around. Whoever catches the most amount of chickens and cages them, they're going to earn, like, let's say, a bottle of water, or they're going to earn some kind of reward. And the inspiration behind Chicken Run was to, emulate the same exact style that people were training in Southeast Asia. So what we ultimately wanted to do was, within the fighting style of Muay Thai, MMA, boxing, was emulate a series of mini games that replicate the same exact concept. Our next game is coming out that's called Fight the Bear, is very similar to the boxing style, and also, of course, the current trend of crypto, because right now we're at the end of the 4-year cycle. Everybody is, I to be honest, everybody is quite bearish, especially after the whole Luna UST debacle.
OTC is go.
Yeah.
CTC is go.
Houston flight is go.
This style of game to where people can relate to the current ecosystem of crypto, negative or positive, right? Fight the Bear is, we're in this situation together, everybody as a whole. So if you're playing Crypto Fight Club, then you're gonna want to.
5, 4,
You're gonna want to.
2.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
I think it
carry
just
on.
came off the map. Man.
All engine
Yeah, I did.
running.
I took too many of the red things, the red pills. Okay,
You took way too many of the red pills.
yeah, I did. Too many red pills. Sorry, guys. And I jumped. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to show like a simple, visual
We have to add
demonstration.
barriers, man.
I think that was my fault, to be honest.
We have to
What I
have
was going,
non-contact barriers.
yeah, what I was going for is just collecting a lot of those speed up red things, and
Yeah.
then I don't really know why I hit jump, but it was a stupid idea.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
We fixed that issue in Fight the Bear, to where there's the aspect where you run around right before you actually get into the cave, to where you start battling out these different bears, literally. There's a wall
yeah.
where you can actually fight these different bears. But Chicken Run. There's a series of different maps, and you're able to catch a multitude of different chickens. And with each chicken, you actually earn fight tokens, and you end up on a leaderboard. And every Wednesday at around 12 p.m. UTC, you earn fight tokens.
Okay, so I've been playing this. Well, I've played quite a lot. Well, when I say quite a lot, obviously there's I think it's 10 matches a day that you can play. And is the daily reset at a certain time,
You
or
have to
is
cut
it?
that music. Man.
Is there music playing?
Yeah.
I
If you
can't
press
even hear.
escape and then click the music and then enter again, you can continue playing.
Okay, hold on. Oh, because on my tab I've clicked mute, but obviously that's coming through for you. Can you hear the music still, or is it muted now?
Still playing, bro.
Okay.
Everybody listen to that Egyptian music, man.
Like, hold on. Well, I don't know why.
Got a chicken without even moving. If you press escape and click the music button.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But my mouse is okay. I just need to stop sharing it because the mouse is hidden. Yeah, has it stopped now?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Stop now.
Phew. Okay, great. And what you were saying before as well. It sounds like you've got quite a lot about fighting. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I don't know anything about it at all. You were talking about different chasing chickens around and things, and that's actually done in real life. Do you have a background in boxing, fighting, that sort of thing?
I have a small background in fighting. I train Muay Thai. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu for about a couple years back. But my main passion has definitely been with Muay Thai. And the person that I originally created this company with was he's the owner of Elite Fight Club, who is one of the owners of the gyms that we're partnered with. And he originally wanted to create a CryptoPunk style collection, but with famous fighters.
Yep.
And with the resources we had, I was thinking to myself, hey, like, why don't we create our own game of ourselves? And then came along Crypto Fight Club. We're like, hey, we don't want to see the 2D profile picture, phase or anything. Let's create an arcade of 3D, voxel, 3D pixel style characters, and create a multitude of games that relate to the sport of, fighting, right? So Muay Thai, boxing, MMA, etc. And then also relate to the meme side of things, right? So like I mentioned, the next game that we're going to be releasing is Fight the Bear. Right now, everybody is bearish. And everybody is going to be bearish. We're living in a world to where people aren't familiar with the Bitcoin market cycle and how things are typically rolling. I believe things are going to continue going down over the next 2 to 3 years, and that's because that's how the market has always been operating. So I think now is kind of the perfect time to release a game like Fight the Bear, and not to try to promote some kind of promising future of crypto, but you're fighting the bear market at this point.
Definitely. Yeah. What I really like about this as well is that it's fun, because there's a lot of games out there that are integrated with blockchain technology, but that just aren't that fun. But this is, which is great. I know I'm not very good at it. When I click on the leaderboard, I can see some insane scores. I think like the most, the most that I've got is like near 200. And do you know any tips to play the game? Because I'm in contact with a few little gaming guilds, and they're very interested in this game. But again, they want to know tips about how to get high scores. Do you have any tips at all about just how to bump into more chickens?
Well, man, for as simple and easy as the game looks, it turns out to be like a skill-based game, right? So everybody is trying to figure out how to get better at the game. but you have to understand the environment that you're in. And we have 5 different environments. You have the jungle, you have the moon, you have the city, you have Egypt, and you have
This Chinese one?
Japan.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, Japan. Right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay.
with this one, like, yeah, you have to. People that have been playing this game for quite a while, you know, they've gotten to understand the maps and where to go. It's just like any other video game, right? If you were to play Call of Duty Warzone and you understand Verdansk,
Yep.
then you are very familiar, or even Fortnite, and you're very familiar with the entire map from a 360 degree to where you know where to drop in, you know where you want to go, and you know where, I guess, most of the chickens are. You know, in this case, chickens are populated because they're constantly moving all over the entire map. There's also a multitude of different power-ups that you can do, like, you know, speeding up or super jumps. And, you know, it's competitive at this point.
One thing I see a lot of people
it's
doing as well, which I don't understand why, is running around in groups. Is that advantageous? Like, you know, I might see
No.
3 people. Yeah, I don't know why.
It's last man standing, man. It's the
Yeah.
it's the highest man. The highest man wins every single time.
Okay. And so obviously you can go over these little red things that give you a speed boost. And then, you know, great, fantastic. You can get a little aerial view of perhaps where to go. Is there anything else that I can be doing apart from just, you know, running around, getting these speed boosts, bumping into chickens? Anything else that I should look out for?
In Chicken Run, no, it's that simple. So you have speed boost based on different area maps, and the whole goal of this little mini game is to catch as many chickens as possible and rank your way up to the leaderboard.
Sweet. Okay, cool. And now that I've done this, will I be earning fight tokens from this mini game?
Yes. So everybody, we distribute fight every single Wednesday, and based on everybody's performance, you will be earning fight. We have a pool every single week of 100,000 fight tokens, and based on what you rank in the leaderboards, you will be earning fight tokens. So what we originally did to begin with, to try to alleviate some kind of pressure to fight, was what we want to do is reward the top 10. And then obviously looking at different like play modes like Peg Axie and Axie Infinity, we decided to reward anybody that's participating in these fight modes, or in any of these game modes. So at the end of the day, everybody that does own an NFT or is lending an NFT is able to earn fight tokens. It's kind of like a play and earn model rather than a play to earn model.
Cool. And also the Generation 1 Crypto Fight Club NFTs have recently sold out. So congratulations. And what was the sentiment like in the community when that happened?
Definitely guilds and exclusive drops. So each generation will have exclusive drops towards different wearables, whitelisted towards land plots later in the future, towards the metaverse drop. And everybody will be entitled to, different exclusive benefits. And for the most part, for what is up and coming is definitely with wearables. So people who are currently holding an NFT will be entitled to different airdrops of wearables and being able to play the game for an up and coming token called Juice.
Oh, nice. Okay. And now that, Gen 1 is here, done. Is there going to be I don't know, a Gen 2 coming out? Obviously, you'll have collectibles and wearables, but are you planning on releasing another collection?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what's that going to be like? Is it going to be like sort of similar fighters, or are they going to be zombies? I don't know. What is that going to be like? What's the future going to be like?
Absolutely. No, we'll have different fighters, different fighting styles, because right now we just have MMA, Muay Thai, and boxing. We want to introduce multiple different fighting styles, like judo, taekwondo, karate, etc. And what we want to do is to reward the Gen 1 fighters with something more exclusive, and that's with the first batch of Gen 1 wearables, right? And whenever the people start minting out the Gen 2, if we drop another 5,000 Gen 2 fighters, maybe they cost more fight to mint. Because right now, in order to mint a Gen 1 fighter, it used to cost 2,000 fight tokens to mint one of these fighters. And right now, I think the floor price is 0.1 BNB. And whenever people mint out the Gen 2, it'll be the same process. People are able to, acquire one of these fighters through a mystery pack, and they're going to be burning fight in the process.
Cool.
And yeah, we want to introduce different sports with different skills, different attack, defense, technique attributes, and so on and so forth.
And will future game modes involve sort of like we can see on the screen at the moment, fighting? Because at the moment, obviously running after chickens, it's fun. But when I look at Crypto Fight Club, I see people in boxing gloves in a boxing ring. I mean, is there going to be any future PvP modes or anything like that?
Absolutely. And this hasn't been publicly released, but we want to introduce a battle royale style mode. It's very similar to what you see in like Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
And this is, written in parallel to our metaverse development. So our metaverse architects have also been developing a PvP style mode that's very similar to, a battle royale mode, to where you're stuck in this parking lot with this gym in the middle, and the circle continues to keep closing inside. And with this circle constantly closing, if you're left out inside of another room and the door closes, then you're out of the game. And it's ultimately the last man standing. So that'll be the first PvP game mode that we'll have. And it'll be in a series of different game modes, like 5v5, 3v3, 2v2. And ultimately later on, of course, we want to have the 1 versus 1 game mode, but it just has to be designed to the aspect to where latency doesn't become an issue. We want to have multiple daily active users, and 1v1 typically doesn't make out that aspect. So we want to have like multiple players versus multiple players, and battle royale seem to be the best bet. And then whenever we launch our metaverse, people will be able to run tournaments. Whenever they own their own land plots, they'll be able to have their own internal PvP tournaments or even battle royale tournaments and so on.
Amazing. And a quick question before I move on to a question about this land. So for instance, in the battle royale mode, are you going to have ranged attacks or ranged weapons, or will it all stick to melee fighting? Yeah.
You can throw some chairs. You can throw some objects.
Okay, no, that sounds great. Good, just like in a real boxing match. Perfect.
Like
no,
WWE,
that sounds...
yeah, like you can use tables and chairs. Yeah, you can throw them.
Great. No, that sounds... Well, it does sound very exciting. Yeah, it just sounds... Yeah, it's just the beginning. And you mentioned land there as well. I know a lot of projects, land is quite an exciting thing. At the moment, it's quite hypey. Would you be able to talk us through perhaps what your plan is for land within Crypto Fight Club?
The idea is to build out this giant grid of different parcels that replicate different pieces of the urban design development, right? And each plot of land would typically be a gym, and inside the gym, people are able to brand it themselves. And inside these gyms, people are able to showcase their achievements. For example, whenever we had the first 5 seasons of Chicken Run, if you earned a Chicken Run trophy, you could showcase that. If you earned a Crypto Fight Club belt from a big PvP match, you can showcase that. If you have TVs inside of your gym, you can showcase other people's advertisements. So people are able to use these plots of lands to advertise, not only their own brand, this is specifically for guilds, but they were able to advertise different projects that, are paying them to profit. So there's a good example, EV.io. It's a FPS game awesome game, right? Solana-based game. What they're doing right now is within different game modes, they have different billboards, right? And they can showcase different advertisements for media outlets, for different up-and-coming games, for new mints that are happening. In Crypto Fight Club, we want to do the same exact thing inside of our metaverse, but more importantly, for the gyms who have partners, because a lot of these gyms have raised funds. And what we want to do is whenever somebody has a gym, if somebody wants to advertise the fund that they have helped raise for, then they're able to put that on the side of their gym, or they're able to put that on the TVs. People are able to run their own, systematic events, whether it's like a learn to earn event where people are able to, have trivia nights for their players. It doesn't have to be related to fighting whatsoever. It could be related to crypto. It could be related to anything. And the idea for these gyms is for people to, earn passive income through a series of different advertisements and also a series of different events. And they can even run their own tournaments too. So whenever people have their own gyms, let's say that, Tom, you're a professional Muay Thai trainer inside of the game, right? And you want to, build yourself as a character. Maybe we might add that because you as an owner, we're like, hey, let's make Tom a professional trainer. Let's make him as an NFT. If you beat him inside the ring, then you become also a wearable. And then if you're a wearable, then you can monetize yourself by putting yourself on the open marketplace. There's many different avenues for monetization for people who own gyms, rather than, hey, let me put myself as this land plot and try to sell it to somebody who would pay more for it. But you can customize it entirely, but within the gym aspect.
No, that's very cool. I've actually found myself as well. Bad man. That's me. Well, nice. Obviously it's not, but it
looks like you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He's probably not as muscly as me, but he can try. No, yeah, great, good. And how do you envisage the sort of metaverse land to be like? For example, I'm in my head, I was thinking a little bit like Decentraland. They've got a grid layout. You can walk around and visit sort of plots of people's land and things. And how easy will it be for instance, me to visit other people's gyms and find other people's gyms? And yeah, what will be the sort of, the layout of it, and how do I access the whole sort of land space?
Well, people won't be able to access it unless they have an NFT fighter like what you have. Yep. It won't be extremely difficult to navigate your way around the metaverse. You'll be able to run and move around to different areas. But similar to Decentraland, how you can teleport to different coordinates. So if I have a gym in the wastelands, right, then you'll be able to plug in my coordinates to my wastelands into the metaverse. And there'll also be little like portals here and there that'll be able to teleport you to the different mini games that we have. Mini games, whatever you want to call them. And it won't be extremely difficult to navigate, but with Decentraland, me as a first person user, it took me a while to figure out, hey, if I want to teleport to my friend wherever he's at, then I have to put in 18.90.21. In this case, we'll be able to like name names to this point. Whether you're in the city center, then you'll be able to go to the nearest teleport portal and be able to click from an option of city center, your gym, your friend's gym, or places that you've actually been to before.
Fantastic. And when, actually no. So yeah, it is very exciting. I think there's a lot to look forward to in the future. So when do you sort of envisage perhaps that is complete, and essentially you've got a solid amount of mini games released and the battle royale game released? Have you got a timeline at all that you can roughly say a date? I know it's sometimes a little bit dangerous maybe in game development to give a date,
Right.
But do you know a rough estimate of when perhaps we could expect some more releases?
For the next mini game, Fight the Bear, it should be within the next 2 weeks max. We've been working on it for to be honest, far too long. But there's always hiccups that come with software development and with game development. This is my first experience in game development, so I'm learning as we go through this whole process. But for a product developer, or our product lead, he understands the delays that come with this kind of stuff. So within the next 2 weeks, 3 max, we should have the next mini game. And then shortly after these learning experiences, we should be able to release one every 3 to 4 weeks. PvP, the battle royale style, aka fight royale, should be available in the next 4 to 6 weeks if everything pans out. Everything is going extremely smooth now. We got the multiplayer function, we have the combat function, and we've already got the environments that we want to build out for this series of games. And then metaverse development, to be honest, Tom, we're playing God at this moment. We're building our own world, right? So the urban design and the actual interoperability within our objects and our different environmental figures, it takes a lot of time. But I would say maybe 10 to 12 weeks for our metaverse. And this will be before anybody has released anything since this year. We have a lot of metaverse projects and play to earn projects that have been released since December of 2021, and nobody shows any real roadmap of when things are going to happen. Or we might see some trailers that have been made from Fiverr, or it's a tough game, man. But I would say 10 to 12 weeks for the metaverse max. 6 to 8 weeks for the PvP, the battle royale, and 1 to 2 weeks for the next mini game. And what we want to do is release an array of mini games for people to have a selection to choose from, rather than, hey, I'm stuck to this one game and then I'm going to wait for their metaverse to come out, which would take a long time, because man, these things take a really long time to build out.
But the timelines that you were given, though, comparison to where we are now, that's very soon. And with the NFTs being minted, and the floor price at the moment, very cheap. I am tempted. I don't know if I should be saying this, on YouTube to everyone, but go and sort of maybe buy 10, 20 and start my own little fighting guild. Because I think once you start releasing these other products, and it's not very long at all, people will be like, I want to get in. So I'm very excited. I don't think that's very long at all. I didn't realize it was going to be so soon. Would you be able just to tell us a little bit about what Fight the Bear is going to be like? What is in the game? What do you do in the game?
Yeah, so you're gonna travel. I'll give you an idea of what the actual gameplay looks like. So when you first start, you're gonna start from the beginning of this path inside the snowy mountains, and you're gonna come across not even a series of obstacles. You're just going to come across this long little path up until you reach this cave. And this cave is going to be memey as hell. You're going to see different taglines. You're going to see, dead people who have gotten wrecked from the crypto market. And it'll showcase exactly how people have gotten wrecked, right? It's very similar to what people are going through now. There is this negative sentiment that, I'm kind of iffy on, but like, you know, it is what it is. You know, give people the straightforward truth, right? So once you hit the cave, you get inside the cave, and then you see the bear that you're gonna fight. And there's different bears. It's not just stuck to one bear. So you're gonna have, you know, like a polar bear, a panda bear, a Bitcoin bear, an altcoin bear, an Ethereum bear, etc. And there's these different bears that you're gonna fight that all have different abilities. And in order to kill out these bears, you know, they're constantly going to get harder and harder and harder as you progress. There's this game, you know, they're roguelike, right? So it's a never-ending game that constantly gets harder and harder and harder. And the idea is to build out this function to where, hey, you know, this is the introduction to melee combat that you can see in PvP, but then there's also some little extra bonuses to where, you know, you can throw objects at the bear and weaken it. You can see that the bear does specific, you know, different modes of anger to where it might charge at you and jump and runs into a wall, then it gets dazed. Then you have time to battle it out. But that's what you can expect in terms of gameplay.
I think it is great. And I do pick up from well, the whole project. Also, your social media interactions, particularly on TikTok, that your TikToks are really, really good. The people who run the TikTok accounts, hilarious. And obviously you've done very well on there. You know, you've got a very good following. But you know, you do, and the vibe I get from the website now is it's a fun game, but there's also some very funny aspects that, you know, not everyone might pick up on. Like, for example, here, I take it this is Mike Tyson, and he's called Big Bite because he bit someone's ear. Is that correct?
That's not Mike Tyson, bro.
Okay, well, just someone.
It is. So a lot of the fighters are inspired by, you know, like famous fighters. But obviously due to like copyright infringement, we're able not to, you know, name certain fighters. Yeah. There's this game, PES soccer football.
Pro Evo. That used to be my favorite over FIFA. Yeah.
Pro Evolution. Yeah. So like you would see different, you know, players as their actual names, right? And there's different laws here and there against everything. But we wanted to avoid, up until we had, you know, contracts signed with a lot of these people, to be able to use their real names or the real figures or real bios in this case. But in this case, there's no like direct correlation with any like real fighters for the first batch of NFTs. For the next batch, absolutely, because we've partnered with some real ballers in the fighting world.
So what we can expect is, well, for future NFTs is sort of, fighters based on people that are actually endorsed by them.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
We had a fighter actually earlier today. He won the belt for the Grand Prix One Championship. For people that don't know the One Championship, it's like the UFC of Asia. His name is Rod Tang. He won the One Championship flyweight belt. This guy's an absolute beast. And the really cool thing about, you know, sponsoring different fighters in ONE FC, UFC, you know, K1, all these different world class, you know, fighting leagues, is they've never lost a fight. Like, and there's been maybe like 50 fights amongst the 10, 12, 13 people that we've signed so far. Nobody has lost a fight. We're kind of like that rabbit foot, you know? At least that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what rabbit foot means. Or
like a good luck charm. Like a good luck charm.
Oh, right. Okay. No, yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's such... Well, it's a very... It makes me laugh, projects. I think it's really, really fun. And genuinely very, very enjoyable. Everything from the gameplay to your TikToks, you know, browsing the website. I'll come across people's name and, you know, it might make me think of something that makes me laugh.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to look forward to. And from a guild perspective as well, it's I think that there's going to be, if there aren't already, a lot of guilds very interested. Are you in talks with any guilds about sort of onboarding them to Crypto Fight Club?
There's been a few. The only issue was whenever we minted out the first batch of fighters, we had a multitude of guilds started to approach us, and we kind of had to take a pause on it because, hey, like, there's no fighters for you to build out for the people underneath you. So we made a couple major partnerships with guilds, ASL, 500S, and with these guys, they've minted anywhere between 50 to 250 fighters for their portfolio, for people to play underneath them. And in this case, like onboarding new guilds, it becomes an issue whenever you have a fixed amount of NFTs. One of the problems with Axie Infinity, right, is any guild was able to get a part of them because they were able to inflate NFTs, and that's how a lot of the NFTs got devalued, through breeding, right? So if I had 3 NFTs and I had enough SLP or AXS and I was able to breed the piss out of all of these different NFTs, then all I'm doing is inflating the market. And everybody knows what happens whenever you inflate the market with any kind of currency. NFTs are considered currency. You're going to lower the price. So in this case, we wanted to fix the amount, or ultimately be in control of the amount of NFTs to where we don't end up overinflating or, underdeveloping a lot of the NFTs that are available. And now that we have this interest, it gives us more, it gives us more of a potential to, start on the second batch of 5,000 NFTs to where we can start providing more interest to guilds and different NFT managers to mint out a multitude of these NFTs for their players underneath them.
Yeah. One thing that guilds look for, obviously you mentioned breeding, is a cost-effective way to scale, and that often is brought around by breeding. But then we see what's happened to perhaps Pegaxi, and they're just not trillions, but loads and loads of peggers, which has essentially just crashed their economy. Do you have a cost-effective way for guilds to scale apart from just buying the NFTs outright?
What do you mean?
So, for example, guilds, if they wanted to start with 100 scholars, but then maybe scale to 200 scholars, do you have a cheaper way for them to scale to 200 scholars without just buying on the marketplace or minting 100 extra NFTs? So, for example, could they perhaps
right?
Make,
like, could they OTC it, right?
Not necessarily, no. So use profits from their scholars tokens, maybe a reward token or something like that. Not necessarily fight. I don't know what Juice is going to do, but pay less for more NFTs than just what the market price is or the mint price is.
At this moment, no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, no, they'd have to pick them up from the open market right now. There is no kind of OTC deals that we're due. I mean, we don't even hold that high of a treasury. The ultimate goal was to build out the largest daily active user possible. So within our treasury, I mean, it's very minimal. I think it's like 20% of NFTs that are playing every single day is around, it's like 750 to 800. So what we wanted to do was try to mint out and also burn as much fight as possible, was to allow the people to come in, especially guilds, to burn fight, mint NFTs, and provide it to their scholars.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. No, I've learned so much about Crypto Fight Club, and I genuinely think, it's a very, fun, interesting, and enjoyable project. Before we start to wrap things up, because we've nearly hit an hour or so, is there anything that I've not asked you about that we haven't discussed that you'd like to bring up at all?
Not so much. One thing that each NFT acts as a certificate of deposit. So if you own a Crypto Fight Club NFT, you're able to stake fight tokens inside of your NFT, and you own everything from the NFT to the fight tokens itself. It's nothing like Tokens Farm or any other kind of centralized staking protocol to where you have this mandatory lockup. We believe in, ownership of your coins and freedom of choice. So whenever people earn APY, typically in the industry, people are going to lock their tokens up and, earn this fat APY of 20,000%. And the next day it's like 2% because more people are getting involved into it. And that's because it's based on a fixed token price or a fixed token pool. In our case, we have a fixed token inflation that pays out all active stakers, and we want to ensure that everybody's funds are safe because they stick in their own MetaMask wallet or Trust wallet. So if you stake fight tokens or LP tokens inside of your NFT fighter, they are yours, and you're paid out through an automated interest model to where you're earning fight and LP daily. You're getting payouts daily, and you get to choose for how long you want to stake for. So it's a very innovative staking model that no NFT project is doing right now. And then you can also lend your fighter or even play with your fighter through a series of different mini games in the future.
Amazing. Yeah, and I will be playing them, and I look forward to them. I especially look forward to the Battle Royale. But yeah, honestly, thank you so much for your time. It's been really interesting. I'm looking forward to everything that you've got coming out. Before I go, one quick question. Buying the different types of fighters that you've got, and the rarities of the different fighting styles, are those going to be utilized in the future? And are there any ones that perhaps I should look out for that will be better than others?
Yeah, so the more rare the fighters, the higher the stats are. So for example, I know that you picked on Cash, for example.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, he's a 1 of 5, right? So he's got the highest stats out of any other fighter out of the entire ecosystem. And with Cash, you're able to utilize these stats and fight the bear, and especially PvP and Battle Royale that's coming out soon. Another thing is, if you have a very common NFT, and if you were to stake a minimum of 5,000 fight or 6,000 LP tokens for a minimum of 1 year, those fighter stats grow 20%. And if you have a very common, 1 of 100, 1 of 125 NFT, then your stats will ultimately be better than Cash. But that's if you wait out the stake of 1 year, right? So the more rare the NFTs, the higher the stats they have. And given that how fast that we're releasing products and different developments, the more valuable they are. If you were lucky enough to get a Cash or a big bite from the very beginning, then you're able to. And if you were to stake for a full year, then you would be ultimately OP, aka overpowered, for Fight the Bear or even PvP coming out.
Amazing.
But a lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now we do. So thank you very
now
much.
You do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you again. Yeah, so much for your time. It'd be great to catch up. I don't know, in a month, couple of months, 3 months, when some more products are released as well, and go over them. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to the future and the different products that you're coming out, because they're genuinely fun and a real sort of benefit to the GameFi space. So thank you very, very much for your time, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah. Next time we talk, we should definitely have 2-3 times more coming out. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to interview, and look forward to talking again.
Fantastic. Good. Have a nice evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Talk soon. See you.